Hello everybody and welcome back to Sin City Living. Apologies for not having posted as much lately as I usually do. Been a busy couple of weeks, schedule changes, a lot of things going on at work, but hopefully I can get myself back into the swing of things, so we'll be bringing you guys some more videos. As always, a shout out of appreciation to our patrons. All those tips of support are very appreciated. Once we get the live stream going, we're probably going to do a patron only live stream, but otherwise right now I hope you guys are enjoying the videos that we're able to put out with the entire How to Deal Dice class. So should have a couple more of those coming out in the next couple of days. And for everybody else, please keep an eye. We're still struggling getting the live stream going. I think I've got the equipment. I'm just having some issues, compatibility issues, but I'm going to get them figured out. We're going to get the live streams going, starting out with the craps tournament. Right now I only have about 7 or 8 players, but I'm hoping that a few more of you guys will email us with some interest in it. We are going to have to back the time up from Thursdays at 6 to probably 4:30. My schedule did change. I no longer have Thursdays off. Yeah, that being said, if you're curious about the Patreon live streams and stuff like that, just check the description of the video down below. And otherwise, we're going to go ahead and jump right into today's video. So for today's video, we're going to go over an email that was sent to us. This was sent to us by Terrence, and he just sent us a strategy. From glancing at it, it's kind of a, I'm not going to say a convoluted strategy, but it's a little much. It seems to have 2 steps. I don't quite follow along with everything on there, but I'm just going to go over exactly what it is that that he is talking about. So what he's saying is he does $1,500 for 10 shooters. Okay, so basically he's putting $150 at risk per shooter. So it comes in 2 parts. The first part he calls the cold table. The second part he calls the feeding the 6 and 8. So he only uses green chips here. Okay, so let's look at the 150. So he's looking at $150 per shooter. So how does it work? So now, and he does point out that he uses green chips. He's at a $25 table, but this would work equally well on a $10 table, a $15 table. You can always just drop it down. You know, if you're on a $10 table, then you're looking at $50 per shooter. Pretty easy. If you are sitting on, oh, I'm sorry, you're looking at $60 per shooter. You're looking at $60 per shooter. If you're on a $15 table, then you're looking at $90 per shooter. You just treat the table minimum as your unit at this point. So it starts out with 1 chip on the don't pass. Okay, you got a green on the don't pass. Once you establish a point, and it does not matter what the point may be, so, well, that would pay that don't pass. So once you establish your point is 5. Then he establishes 2 combats. So again, it doesn't really matter what it is. They travel in. Now he says if you don't have any chips to make a bet or cover the don't pass, if you lose it, then you're done. So basically you have your 3 chips. You have your 6 chips per shooter. Okay? So you use 4 chips for this portion of it. So if something loses, then you use the 4th chip. The 4th chip appears to be extra. Now after the point is established, also, so this kind of runs simultaneous. You've got you establish a point, so you place your combat, but then you also place the 5 and 9. So let's just assume the point is 4. Well, no, we can stick with this. It's all the same. And you will use these to feed the 6 and 8. Gotcha. Okay, so you use these to feed the 6 and 8. So basically, if either one of these hit, let's say a 9 hits. So this would travel in. You'd get paid $35, but you would just funnel it into a $60 8. Now you would then place your second combat, and if a 5, say, were to hit, it would go a couple different ways. This would lose, this would travel, these would go, and then the point would be turned off. Now, of your initial 6 chips, you still have 1 left. So you're going to go ahead and put that 1 on the don't pass again. And should anything lose at this point, then you just wait. If you don't have any winnings yet to keep things going, then you just wait until the next shooter. He goes with 6 chips per shooter, 6 bets per shooter. So let's take a look at it. So this is an interesting one in that the danger point is not actually the come out. Typically when you have a don't pass, the biggest danger point is the come out. Now of course this is a small danger point. I mean you have 8 ways to lose, 3 ways to win, but the don't pass, it's a legitimate, it's a valid bet. It's not a bad bet if you can get past the don't pass, or if you can get past the come out roll. So once you get past the come out roll, and then you get a point, and again, it doesn't matter what the point may be, so we'll just do an 8. The placing of the 5 and 9 and the 2 come bets. Well, this gets interesting because should a 5 or a 9 roll, then your bets are kind of combining with each other. Your come bet will travel in, plus your 5 will get paid and then get moved over to the 6. And see, that is actually where your worst case scenario may lie. If a 5 rolls, you get paid. You've got to put out your next come bet. A 9 rolls, or even a 10. It doesn't really matter. Once 2 points have rolled, 2 numbers have rolled, regardless of what it may be, let's say it were 10, this right here becomes your actual danger point. This right here, where if a 7 out occurs, you are 4 chips invested, you're 5 chips invested, but you're 4 chips invested up here, and you're 1 chip invested over there. A 7 out occurs, you lose these, you win there. So you would lose $75. You would lose your 100 that you had invested, but you would win 25. Honestly, as far as danger points go, that's not bad at all. It only takes a few hits for something to pay back what you lost. Then of course you need to hit a few more times to get back the money that you have invested. But this, as far as the strategies that I have received go, this one it's interesting. It's different than other strategies, but it is most definitely not worse in any way, shape, or form. It's about even with many of the other fairly decent strategies that are fairly well thought out. I mean, it gets a little bit more convoluted than would be preferred for for serious craps players. They typically just do place bets or just do come bets, combining things and feeding different numbers and stuff like that. Those are interesting. Those are fun ways to add to the game, but it does start to get a little convoluted for the average player. But it's not a bad strategy at all. It's really not. The only downsides to the strategy are not downsides per se as far as what you have at risk, because again, this isn't bad. There are certainly strategies. I mean, the Iron Cross, you've got $61 at risk. Worst case scenario, you lose $61. Best case scenario, or rather normal scenario, it takes you 10 hits just to make back what you lost on, not even counting. So it would take, it would take 6 hits. So it would take 12 hits on an Iron Cross to make up what you lost and make up what you are invested in, so that then you can actually start making a profit. Versus with this one, it would take a few hits. It would take 3 hits of your come bets, or it would take really just 1 hit on your 6 or 8. Comes pretty close to making up for a worst case scenario loss. And then you can start making some profit. Really, this just comes to 5 or 9s hitting before the 6s and 8s, and then the 6s and 8s hitting. And of course, you can press once whatever you wish to do with your 6 and 8s. He says you just same bet them, which is not a bad option at all. And there's of course other ways to do it as well. You could win this 5 hits instead of parlaying all of it over to the 6, feed the 6. You could just throw $1 and make it 36 and collect a green back. So there's definitely options here. Definitely lots of options that you can do with it. So the drawbacks that I would put on this is, well, it's mixing up. It's literally mixing up 3 of the 4 main core strategies that exist for craps, which is the dark side, come bets, and place bets. And it's not taking advantage of any one of those styles. So that would be my problem with this strategy, is it's not really picking a side, sticking with it. It's not taking advantage of the bonuses that you get from any particular strategy. I mean, like we talked about in one of our other videos, all craps comes down to 4 strategies. There are 4 basic strategies in craps. Everything else just becomes a combination of them, or tweaks to them, or hedges to them, and just adding more steps and trying to find the unbeatable strategy that doesn't exist. And this one uses 3 of the strategies, but it doesn't take advantage of the bonuses that each one of those strategies gives you. With the dark side, why wouldn't you do a lay? Once you get past the come out, the odds favor you. You're more likely to see a 7 than you are to see a winner. So why wouldn't you do a lay? With your come bets, why wouldn't you do odds? The entire point of a come bet is to be able to take advantage of the odds. Why get paid even money? Why do a come bet with no odds? It's not taking advantage of it. Well, I always tell people, if you're going to do a come bet without odds, then don't put a come bet. Wait till the dice roll. Instead of having a quarter out here that travels to the 5, just wait until the 5 rolls and say, you know what, I'm going to place the 5 for a quarter. It still takes you 2 hits of that 5 in order to get paid, but now you're getting paid more. Yes, you're losing the possibility of winning in there on a 7 or 11, but you're also getting paid even money on your bet. On craps, there's so many bets that pay you much better than even money. I don't understand why you would want to get paid even money. But overall, it's not a bad bet, not a bad strategy at all. You know, I'm sure it works for him. I don't have any issues with the strategy in any way, shape, or form. Thank you very much, Stephen, for sending it to us. We appreciate it. And I hope you guys find this interesting, illuminating, enlightening, or just plain fun. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye now. Okay, guys, so as I promised at the end of the videos, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the live stream and how it's going to work. So the first thing is, if you're interested in being one of the players for our craps tournaments, which is we're going to have every single week, please email us at sincityliving.lv@gmail.com. I need the email addresses and want to know who is interested so that we can get it set up and we can select it. I'm going to have the first round is going to be 16 players. There'll be 4 players per week. The 5th week is going to be the 4 champions from the previous weeks to get an ultimate champion. Haven't decided yet what the prize will be. Maybe I'll see if I can pick up another one of these lights. But we'll have some sort of prize for our champion. So please, if you're interested, email us. I want to pick the first 8 players, the first 2 weeks worth of players, so that we'll have the first 4 ready for the first week, and the other 4 will be kind of backup, just in case somebody has connection issues or something comes up and they're not able to play that week. Then I've got the other players on standby, so I can just bump one of them up or maybe shift the first person down or something along those lines. The main tournament is going to be Thursdays at 6 o'clock. My time, Las Vegas time, 6 p.m. Las Vegas time. And it's the way it's going to work is it's going to be a time thing. I'm going to do the live stream for an hour. I'm going to do the game for an hour, rather. And it might work out to about 30 rolls, might work out to about 40 rolls. I'm not too sure. We'll see how it goes. But it's going to be time. It's going to be an hour. Instead of the craps tournaments that they do down on the strip where it's 30 rolls, we're going to do an hour. So I want to make sure I have a finite time limit for this to start with. And then we will go from there. I'm going to find a way, either a Discord or a Zoom or a private chat room, some way for the players to be logged into something where I can communicate with them on my second computer so that they can tell me what their bets are, what they want to bet, what they want to press when something hits, without me having to scroll through the full chat of the live stream itself. I'm not going to be able to keep an eye on that. And if we have enough people watching and chatting, it could be difficult to keep an eye. So I have to figure that part out. Another reason I need the emails, so I can communicate back and forth with the potential players. So if you're interested, again, please email me. Eventually, just pretty much everybody's going to have an opportunity to be in on these things because we're going to do multiple ones. I'm also looking at probably doing a second craps tournament, maybe late Wednesday nights, possibly, I'm not sure, where I'm going to do it a little bit different. The second one is going to be, instead of 1 hour and then whoever's got the most chips is the winner, because those craps tournaments tend to have really weird strategies. They're not normal strategies that you'd see in normal play, because you're competing against other players and you just want to make sure you have more chips than them by the end. What I'm going to do with the second tournament is, instead of a weekly winner, we're going to play for an hour, and then I'll keep track of how much money people still have on there, or how many chips they still have. And then the next week, same players are going to keep going. Basically, this game will go until the bankrolls end, until we have one person with money left, or chips left. Again, there's no money involved in this. So once we have one final winner, so people will drop out as their play money bankrolls expire, as they run out of chips. So that one, I'm guessing we'll see some more normal strategies, the kind of things people actually play when they're actually playing craps. And then eventually we're going to add baccarat, pai gow, three-card poker, blackjack, of course, to these tournaments. Whatever we can, to these live streams and live stream tournaments. Whatever we can, when we can, as best we can. We're going to have to figure it out as we go. We have a lot of time constraints between me working full-time plus a child. But we're going to do the best we can. We're very, very excited to have this going. And we also will try and pick a day or time where I can do a patron-exclusive tournament or two. We'll see. We'll see how many of our patrons are interested, and see if we can't get that going as well, where it's only on the patron site. So definitely stay tuned, guys. Please, if you're interested in playing in one of the tournaments or partaking in our live streams, aside from just the chat, obviously it's a live stream. Please watch, chat with us, let us know how it's going or what you think, and otherwise, please, again, email us, sincityliving.lv@gmail.com. Otherwise, I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Any suggestions, please hit us up. Thank you guys very, very much. We appreciate every single one of you guys, and we will catch you guys next time. Bye now.